see, the more them get, the more them want. The call of Holy drove me gone. Master thick and some will stick. Tread on now, worm and it will turn. Them a locust feeding up an eye flesh. Them a locust feeding up an eye flesh. There's no meat on the bone. All I eat gonna roll. Fire I burn backside. Every step you make, man, you slide. Them a locust feeding up an eye flesh. There's no meat on the bone. All I eat gonna roll. Plaster thick and some will stick. Tread on now, worm and it will turn. Them a locust feeding up an eye flesh. Them a locust feeding up an eye flesh.
From the album Everything Crashed, that's Leonard Dillon on lead there with the Ethiopians track called Locust. And Leonard Dillon is my special guest this evening on Rhythm and Blues. Leonard, welcome to London.
Oh yeah, okay, Mrs. B.
Nice. Nice to have you here.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Good. Now, the reason why you're here chiefly, apart from coming to see me, Leonard, is because you're doing a show here in London
Of course.
next Friday, which we'll speak about in a little while. But I couldn't have an original Ethiopian in the house without going back into some of the history, I mean, about the Ethiopians, how you came into the music business, because it's all very fascinating and we don't get the chance very often to speak with you. So, I mean, give us a brief background on the Ethiopians. I mean, they were originally a trio, wasn't there?
Yeah, I'm originally from Port Antonio. Grew up in a family that's a Christian family, Seventh-day Adventists.
So there was lots of church music.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they are all musicians. My grandfather is a conductor, and he was a choir master in the church. So I have a lot of inborn thing where music is concerned. So I left Port Antonio and went to Kingston. And there I met upon Peter Touch, who later introduced me to Bob and Bunny, and sang some songs to them, and they love it, and they took me to Studio One, and that's it.
And the rest, as far as the forming of you in the singing business, that's how it was
That's
started.
how I entered the singing business.
Okay. Now,
And after working with Bob, Peter, and Bunny for a while, we did 4 songs. Well, they were just coming, just did Simmer Down. They were just coming in the business also. So they didn't have enough time to spend with me. And the songs that I used to make always be group songs. And I left Studio One and went back to work on my trade as a builder.
Okay.
Yeah, and there I met upon Stephen Taylor and Aston Morris, and there was born the Ethiopian.
So your time, I mean, you kind of went quickly over the Studio One era with the Wailers and everything. Wasn't it a good time at Studio One for you?
Yes. That's all my experience.
Mm-hmm.
That is where all my experience came from.
So why did you leave?
As I said before, Bob did not have enough time, Bob, Bunny and Peter, to spend with me. So I left and go form a group for myself.
And came back. So
I went back to Studio One.
With the other two?
Yeah, and we just went back now and started spitting hit one after the other.
All right.
You know, there was Live Good, Home No Pay Me, Free Man, I'm Gonna Take Over. That's a chain of it. Yeah.
So, I mean, what was it like in those days? Because obviously you were very much into the Lord and the more roots side of the market, which Coxon wasn't really a fan of roots music too much. Yeah. So how did you get on with him, you know, with the type of lyrical content that your songs had and your message that you were passing over?
Well, I wouldn't say that, you know. I wouldn't say he's not really with the culture, because the name Ethiopian, we went to the studio. We were young, did not even know as much about Rastafari as I know today. Mm-hmm. We went to the studio with two names, you know. And
what was the other name?
I think it's Heartaches.
Heartaches? I prefer the Ethiopians.
And don't be choose.
The Ethiopians.
You know, they say, yeah, Ethiopian's the right name. I say, yeah, you know. And that teaches me a lot, because elder Rastas started to inspire that, and Spirit of Jah that dwelleth within me started to taught me a lot of things, and I was very much inspired. Mm-hmm. So what I was doing wasn't really of myself, but who that dwelleth within.
You were being guided to give forth the works that you were doing.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Wonderful. So after Studio One, where did you go from there?
Well, I went to, after Studio One, I left Studio One, and then I went back to my trade. Mm-hmm. There I met upon a man named Lee Robertson. And he gave me £115. Wow. I told him that I was singing. Uh-huh. I used to sing, and I would like to do it again. And he gave me £115.
Which was, we have to say,
it was a lot of money.
Lots of money.
Because that £115, that's what made Train to Skaville.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, you're talking about certain classics, which I don't even want to begin to talk about yet, because there's something that I need to share with you, which I will do later on. So that £115 actually paid for the making of Train to Skaville.
Yes, and buy the tapes and studio time. At the time, musician used to work with £15 per side.
Well, even less.
Yeah.
Even less. And there. So how comes you managed to get so much money?
No, I said he gave it to me to do the session.
That's what I'm saying. So how comes, I mean, because usually producers weren't forthcoming with paying so much money for sessions. They would either try to engineer the session themselves and keep everything.
No, well, Mr. Lee did not know anything about the music. Mm-hmm. He was a builder. He built house and sell. Mm-hmm. And we were working with him. He always come around me and hear me singing. So he really loved the music. Mm-hmm. And he gave me the money. And he even said to her, I must take Albert Griffiths with me. That's how Albert Griffiths went to the studio also. Because the flip side of Train to Skaville, it's a song called You Are the Girl.
Okay.
Which we were the backup for Albert.
The Gladiators.
Yeah. At that time, he was just Albert.
He was just Albert.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a fascinating piece of history.
Yeah, the song was labeled Al and the Ethiopians.
Al and the Ethiopians.
Yeah, the flip side of Change Skaville.
Now, if we were to find an original copy of that song now, I wonder how much more than £115 it would be worth. Thousands of pounds.
For to find that original track on a record.
Well, I don't have the original on a vinyl, but I do have this. Leonard Dillon, my special music guest from the Ethiopians. Here's Train to Skaville. Absolutely adore this job. I'm playing Train to Skaville. Leonard Dillon is my special music guest, and he's signing my album, Everything Crash, right here in front of my eyes with his track playing. I mean, this could only happen on London Live. Now, Train to Skaville, massive, massive, massive hit all over the world.
Yeah, that was one of my biggest.
And you know, what did it do for you as a group?
Oh my. Train to Skaville take me out of the pit. It's like I'm where Skaville put me right now.
So it really all started, the big
Yes,
big hype.
because that song, we did it on our own, you know, because Mr. Lee did not really, he was just interested in helping me.
This is why I say you were very lucky, because had it been an experienced producer, there's no way he would have given you the money to do the track and be the owner of the tape. He would have called you in for a session and he would have kept ownership of the tape. So that was really well done.
I'm a Sagittarian. I'm very lucky.
Very lucky. Well, very smart. I don't know which one. So you retained all rights to that and obviously made some money for yourselves.
Oh, yeah.
And was enabled to fund further projects.
Oh, yes. From Train to Skaville, I did the Whip, Cool It Amigo, and Stay Loose Mama. All those came from the money that I gained from Skaville.
Okay. Now, what about Engine 54?
Well, Engine 54 was done for JJ.
But there's a reason why I ask about that track, because It's quite an interesting story. About in I'd say around about 1986, 85, 86, I was working for the national radio station here called Radio 1.
Yeah.
And we had arranged to have a session where people would come in and make jingles for me in a studio and everything. So one of the tracks we chose was Engine 54. Okay, and there was a singer. I don't have a copy here of the actual jingle because we changed. We now use different formats, and it was on cartridge and all sorts of things. But we had this singer and a DJ do a version of Engine. You would have loved it, Leonard. Honestly, it was my favorite. So from the national radio station on Radio 1, I used it also on the World Service. I hope you got paid for this because there's a lot of money over a whole heap of years. You should have got some money from the BBC from it.
Yeah, well, I collect my royalties.
Yeah, I can see that. You're a Sagittarian. But that track is dear to my heart from that day on. And every time I hear that track, funny enough, I don't know if I should be ashamed to say this, I don't think of the Ethiopians, but I think of myself. Because it reminds me of my work for the BBC, and I had that right throughout my career on the BBC. That was my signature tune, and it was your track, Engine 54. So it means a lot to me, even to have you here, and so I really do hope you got your royalties. So all right, so from Train to Skaville, financed further works for you in the Ethiopians. And then what happened there?
There I break away now and started to do songs. Every producer actually in Jamaica. I had a lot of songs for different various producers. But my favorite producers were Sir J.J., Sir D, which is Coxon, you know, was my favorite. Dan Derrick Harriott, Lee Perry also.
Quite a few.
Yeah.
I mean, Lee Perry was instrumental really in your career.
Yes, very much. Yeah.
And how did he help you?
The first time I went around the mic, he was the one that came and hugged me when I was trembling.
Really?
Yeah. When I was doing ice water, I was trembling, and the old man said, "Easy, man. Everyone go through this. You know, it's relax. Just relax and do it." And he always there to coach you. He's a man who taught me also percussion.
He taught you percussion?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I gain a lot out of him where percussion is concerned.
So a lot of the rhythm tracks as well, you had a part in laying the rhythm tracks?
Yeah.
You didn't just go in as vocalist?
No, I play percussion and I played it. Congo and I bring the drum. Majority of my songs I play the drums, especially today. So I have a combination with Ian Bunny, that Bunny's Scully.
Scully and, from Scully and Bunny. Yeah. So you know the Train to Skaville, who did the
it's a friend of mine called First Sight.
Okay.
First Sight.
And he did that just vocally, right the way through the song.
Yeah.
Amazing. So those days now, everybody was in one room, weren't they, Leonard?
Yeah, 2 tracks.
2 tracks.
Yes, and when the song starts, if you got just a need for it to finish and there's a spoil, you have to start again from the top.
Producer not happy.
So you got to be sharp. And then the musicians, they would get ignorant on you if they work too much. You know? So you have to be sharp and get it there. So we always have a thing saying Ethiopians don't really rehearse in studio. Whenever time I get to the studio, I'm always ready for the record.
So you rehearse outside of the session so that when you get there,
I'm ready.
The musicians can't say, "Why aren't you ready and why are you making so much?"
I hustle my partners. They have to get up every morning early. And we have to go get rehearsal, you know.
To make sure that when the session is on.
And in the evening when we cool out in the night, rehearsal again, you know.
So just paint a picture of what it was like growing up as a young man in Jamaica with so many producers and artists coming through, reggae, rocksteady. We were just leaving the ska era, so rocksteady was coming through now and everybody was young and up and coming. But it must have been the most exciting time to be in Jamaica, really, at that time.
Yeah, at those times, you know, the most important thing is to create a sound of your own. And that was the aim of everyone, to create a sound of your own.
And how did you go about doing that?
I would say through the inspiration of the Most High.
Through the inspiration of the Most High, and of course, guidance from the producers you were working with, and or was you?
No, very early, you know, I started arranging all my songs. Most of my songs, the producers gave me the money.
Why are you so lucky?
I used to be in the studio. JJ gone to the bank. He's in the shop doing his business, and when he think that I gone through with the music, he will just come there when I'm just finishing. Because I always have an idea what I want. My mouth always play the horns part that I need first. My mouth always play the bass part first. You understand? And that's it.
So can you read music, sir?
Oh no, I'm from a music reading family.
Okay.
My mother teaches music. My grandfather is a conductor. When they sing, sal, sal, mi, re, do. They sing notes, and I cannot look at the notes and sing like that.
But you know what the notes are.
I have the ear.
You have the ear for it.
Yeah.
So it's perfect pitch, even though you can't read the music.
Yes, if 100 instruments is out there playing, and playing different tones, one tone make mistake, I can go peek him out.
Okay, so watch it. Leonard is in town. Now, another man very instrumental in your career and your music development was Joe Higgs, the fabulous Joe Higgs.
Oh, yes. He was a teacher in Studio One. You know, a lot of voice training, how you must do your thing. And, you know, Joe was a cool guy to watch. A lot of us that came out of Studio One, I have credit to give to Joe.
So why is it that...
God bless his soul.
Yeah, so many of these great people who were in and around the development of reggae and rocksteady at that time, they really never got their dues, you know, until it was too late.
Yeah, but not knowing the business, not knowing how wide it is going, cause you to just relax, and through the love of the music, you keep doing it.
Not realizing that there's another side to take care of.
But you wasn't even meditating upon the money, because you're thinking of what you're not getting then. And what you do get, you may get 10% of what you're supposed to get. You don't know the business as much. And now it's different.
It's very different now.
Yeah,
and I like it because you're always smiling when you speak of money. So I know you've been paid. You're in there, you're so happy. Now, all right, we've left Studio One and we've come through where you worked with several producers and made different tracks. What happened to the group then?
Well, in 1975, the worst thing happened to me, I would say, that year. I lost my partner, Stephen Taylor.
In a road accident?
In a road accident on the Washington Boulevard. And that hooked me up for at least 2 years. I was sick, suffering from shock.
Really?
Yeah.
It affected you badly?
Yeah, oh yeah. And I went home to the country, isolate myself from the music, but still writing. And I swore that I wouldn't sing for another producer. I didn't want to sing again. And
without him?
No, it wasn't in me too tough. And to tell you, you see this country and western singer, is this guy,
Willie Nelson?
No. He and Danny Pons. This guy with a white hair. Hair is all white.
Okay.
Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers, okay.
When I saw Kenny Rogers one night on the television and I saw a white hair guy and as a old man, you know. At the time I was just in my 30s, young 40s. I said, weird, if I can't throw up, that man can really go there now, I throw up this thing for. You know, and it's like he put a pep in me.
It inspired you to
Yeah.
shake yourself off
Yeah.
and start
He
again.
put a pep in me.
Yeah.
And I get up now and start move and I go check downbeat now and I start to do some songs for him.
Mm-hmm.
Until I said, well, I'm going to cool out now and started saving some money when I get my royalties.
You like money, don't you? You're good.
Oh no, I don't like
it.
money. I love people. And I love my music. But money come from
Of
it.
course.
And I have nothing more doing. So I feel I should live by it.
I think you're right. And I
Yeah,
think
you
that
know.
is why you have a smile on your face today.
Yeah, because it's not the money.
But you have some anyway. You remind me of my father so much. He always had a smile. He was always laughing. So you decided to go back to downbeat.
Yes. No, and I go back to downbeat and relax. Came out, do some songs for him and relax again. Started to save some money. And I decided I wasn't going to sing no more now. I was going to sing for my children if I cannot do an album for myself. You know, and I saved some money and I did this album On the Road Again. And went to America and listened to Heartbeat. And
Started things rolling again for you.
for me.
Now, how were you received as one half of the Ethiopians several years later? I mean, was it a hard slog to really get your name back in the limelight again, or was people very welcoming of you?
Yeah, busy. Nothing was gone. I'm here because when I double track the songs, nothing is missing.
Okay.
All those songs it was playing, my part is not in it. Not the locus, my part is not in it. I give the harmony. You know, I double track to put 2, 3 harmony, whatever I want in it. So it's like you hear it because the sound that I tell my partner to sing, that is what he sings. So if I go there to do it,
You know exactly what his part should be, so you can provide his part.
okay.
So how could you provide such fine tenors, and your voice is such an obvious baritone?
Oh, your tone is all around, you know, you put it where you want it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's many people who couldn't really be that versatile, you know,
I
because
sing false too.
you sing falsetto as well. Because I'm hearing you speaking to me, and it's like I'm speaking to maybe Brooke Benton or somebody like that.
But it's just a matter of clean lungs.
I see.
Yeah, my lungs is strong.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. So you say nothing was lost. I mean, you were able to recreate the sounds anyway because you knew what your partner
I've
should
lost
sing.
the individual, but the sound.
The spirit
Yeah,
hasn't been
yeah,
lost.
yeah.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
So you were able to really just start back where you left off, in a sense.
Yeah, yeah.
And how did you feel without your partner knowing, all right, well, I'm on the road now, on the road again?
Very much alone, you know. Until I met up in 1994, I went on a show in Moab, Utah, in America. And the producer, I wanted to have some backup to travel with me. And the producer said, well, he could not afford the plane fare for those harmonies to travel with me, but he could provide me with 2 harmonies. And they met up on Gina and Gigi.
Jean and Gigi.
Yeah,
Okay.
and 1994, and from then we have been singing since.
Now, you seem to be a very loyal person. Like you have a partner, or, you know, you make a team and you like to stick to that team.
Oh yeah.
And a very comfortable...
You see, that is a thing that relaxes your mind. You know, your head don't move around. You know where you like. You know what you're doing. You know when you're doing this thing. You know?
And you know that they know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you can rest assured that the business is going through properly. They're singing properly.
Yeah.
You're singing properly.
We did a new album the other day, Tougher Than Stone. 16 songs, 16 original rhythm tracks. 16 songs, and they're in it. Yeah.
What kind of music are you singing nowadays?
Strict strictly roots and strictly original reggae roots. I'm an acoustic musician. Acoustic music all the way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll do a little flavoring with the computer.
But really, it's
the
acoustic.
Roots, the whole background, bottom line is acoustic.
Now there's a massive revival for roots cultural music, vocals. I mean, people are tending to move away from the computer sound, even now programming computers to sound like real instruments.
But you still won't get that.
No.
There is a heartbeat from the acoustic, because whenever time it's machine, mechanical, and it's human. It's two different things.
The machine is just slightly too perfect, isn't it?
Okay. And you don't get no feel from it as a human. Because if I'm playing an instrument, when that music give me a little pip and nice me.
You do something.
Oh, yeah.
You do a little flurry.
And sometimes you at the public now you want to hear that again.
That little piece there.
Okay.
Yeah, I do understand.
That's what I got from you, man. Not from the machine.
So which musicians do you use when you're on stage? When you're on the road, who do you use?
Well, I had a band called so come off. I had a band that I used to go to Europe with, you know.
Right.
And sometimes the head go and come in.
I know, you got so many
I'm
things.
a old man now.
No, it's not. You know what I think it is, Leonard?
Yeah.
You're thinking about the royalties. You're thinking,
Oh, no.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Money.
I'm joking. I am joking. I like to see you smile because you remind me of my father. Lepke, if you're listening, this man is the spitting image of our dad. Now, you went back on the road, found some singers who would really enable you to feel comfortable again and get within yourself. What position are you in now? How do you feel now about being on the road, about performing the songs on your own? And
well, to be frank, not relaxed as if I was with my partners, you know, but these girls are very good. And I get some amount of comfort from them. When I'm working with them, I can go on top of the building and go to the bottom and come back.
They can follow you.
And they are still okay.
Yes.
You know, they just know what they're doing.
Okay. And they're American girls.
Yes, they're from LA.
So why did you, this is interesting because you live in Jamaica, in the roots of where the music is, the root of reggae, and yet you found comfort and support with singers who are not from Jamaica.
Well, you're surprised to hear those girls. You'll hear them on Friday.
Yeah, I will.
You'll hear them on Friday.
I won't be surprised. I'm just wondering, why did you make that decision? I know music is everywhere.
It's not really a decision. I met upon them 1994 when I went to Utah. And not having a group and no backup in Jamaica, which was steady, or which is steady, you know, because where I used to get backup from a lot of time when I'm doing a song, I may hire Silver Tones for a while, Jennifer Laura, because that's, if anything, it would be them I would be touring with, you know, and they are their own thing doing.
Yeah.
You know, it wouldn't be even looking good for them to tour with me. So having these girls is like, they're completely different from
anybody. They have their work is with you.
Yeah, it's what I mean.
Yeah. So you're not compromising anybody?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, nothing like that.
Good.
I think next year you're going to see Melvin Reed and I.
Melvin Reed?
Yeah, that's one of the original Ethiopian, but he was in America for 11 days. Why he's not here? He would be here with these girls, but why he's not here is because it was just last week, Monday, he got his passport.
Okay.
Because it was to be renewed, and they had a passport problem in Jamaica where it is short, like, you know. And that's why he's not here.
But it seems like you're happiest when you have your group around you.
Yeah, because we're together often, and things that we can plan and do, because we see each other every day. Still for a couple minutes, 2 hours, with Gina and Gigi, And whatsoever I do, they can do anything same way. You know, they're still quick at it.
That's good.
Yeah, they're very quick at it. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about Friday, because you're dying to tell me. I know you are, and I'm dying to know. Friday, the 29th of September at the Brixton Recreation Centre.
Yeah.
I mean, London will be witnessing history.
The show of all shows.
I'm telling you. Because the lineup alone, can I just go through the lineup?
Of course.
Yeah, it's yourself, Leonard Dillon,
Yeah.
original Ethiopian, Little Roy, Michael Prophet, Vincent Knapp, and Jashaka.
Yeah.
Legends.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that that venue is big enough, really?
I was saying it. I was saying it. You know?
I don't know what we're going to... Maybe I think I'll just get there early, because I wouldn't like to be one of the ones...
Yeah, I would
outside.
advise anyone who want to come to that show, please be early, because if you wait until 10, maybe you have a problem.
So what can we expect from the Ethiopians that night?
A show of all shows.
Laugh for me, go on.
It's true, man. You may think it's true. Come out.
A show of all shows.
Yeah.
No, I want a little more detail. Yeah.
I'd rather for you to come and see.
All right, I hear you.
You know,
Okay.
there is something in store.
Something great in store.
Yeah, because 31 years ago I worked in England, and I have gained a lot more experience, understanding. I am more professional to my work. It's 31 years.
31 years since you last performed here.
Yeah.
You know
So
what
they're
I'm
going to see a
ask you.
complete different thing.
But you know what I'm going to ask you, don't you?
Yeah.
Why did it take so long to come back?
I don't know. The agents and the promoters.
Them again?
Yes, they are the one. Because they should get me here a long time.
You should tell them, look, I want Miss P is there in London and I know she wants to see me. Get me a show over there. Definitely.
Oh, yeah. The time has just come.
The time is right.
Nothing has happened before the time. Yeah.
So you're not telling me what to expect. You say it's a show of all shows, which I
Yes.
can believe just by the lineup alone. But I just want a touch of what I can get from the Ethiopians, where we get the classic songs like...
Yeah, you got songs like I'm Gonna Take Over, Sealer, Pirate, The Whip, Woman a Capture Man.
Well, okay.
I name them, Hong Kong Flu, Love Bug.
You're
Name
gonna
them.
do Cool It Amigo.
Yeah, Cool It Amigo, Train to Skaville.
And you Engine 54 for me.
Engine 54, all of those songs lined up.
Now it's hard to believe really that you're reeling off all your classics and people saying, oh my gosh, did he do that? Did he do that?
Yeah.
Because all the time when these songs were major hits, all right, there wasn't a lot of publicity going around about the Ethiopians. So we heard the songs, we loved them, we danced to them and everything. But I don't think a lot of people are really aware of how many hits you actually had and the songs that you were responsible for, the songs you wrote, and how involved you were with the music business, because you're a very quiet man.
Yeah, try to.
You try to be.
Yeah.
It's like away from the limelight.
Oh, well, I don't love excitement.
You don't love excitement.
No. Don't put me. I love to be quiet, relax. I think that's what keep me.
Oh, and it's so wonderful. I mean, it really is refreshing. I speak to many people in the music business, and so many of our legends. When you speak to them, especially about the earlier days, they have bad stories, and they're very sad and depressed about it, you know. And it's nice to be faced with someone and you're talking about the old days and it smiles all the way. You can laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, your only regret is obviously the losing of your partners, but generally you're pleased about your
Of
career.
course, because the work that I was doing, I give thanks to the Almighty that He kept me on to see a lot of fulfillment. Kind of beginning, I was start called on as Rasta singers. You know, a lot of discrimination. But, you know, I didn't ever give up.
And I'm glad.
No, I can never give up. Elephant cannot change its spot.
You can never stop smiling, and that. No, I love it. It's infectious. It's infectious. Now, Friday the 29th is going to be the place, the show of all shows. You're hearing it from the man himself, Leonard Dillon, Ethiopian, Little Roy, Michael Prophet, Vincent Knapp, and Just Shaka, Brixton Reg. Now, I've got a pair of tickets here that I would like to give away.
Yeah.
Would you like to help me give away those tickets?
Yeah.
What question should we give out?
Okay. I have 3 names.
Okay.
Right? And if anyone can tell me the initial of the first name, the first letter in the first name, first letter in the second name, first letter in the last name.
That's too...
It's very easy.
It's too hard. Look,
it's like you would say B.O.D.
Yeah, but listen, you haven't been here for 31 years.
Well, if you're in the music and you studied Ethiopians, you must know.
No, but you see, we want to give everybody a chance because we're trying to bring people to the show and we want everyone to have a chance to win the tickets. You see, we don't want to make the question too hard.
You don't want to make it
No,
you feel like it's hard.
I feel it's very hard.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh my, I think it's simple.
I think only Patricia next door could answer that question. And she's already got tickets. Isn't that right, Pat? So let's give her
okay.
Easy question. It's 11:30 at night. People are nearly sleeping and we want to make sure that, you know, they have a chance to say, oh, I know that one. Go to the phone quickly and try and win.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
What can I say?
Now, I've got a question, but you're going to say that's too easy.
That's what.
All right. What's the number of your engine?
Okay.
That's good, right?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
The number of Leonard Dillon's engine, the number of the Ethiopians' engine, 0207-224-2000. First one through with the right answer, apart from Patricia, can get a pair of tickets to the show. The 29th of September, Brixton Rec. It's the show of all shows. He said it himself. Can I have the number of Leonard's engine, please? 0207-224-2000. Ethiopians and Everything Crash Studio One style, and my special guest this evening, right throughout the last almost an hour we've been here speaking, has been Leonard Dillon, the original Ethiopian. Thank you so much for your company. I'm going to tell you who won. You see, it was a nice, easy competition. People are still phoning in now. Was it too easy? You think it was?
It was too easy.
No.
I bet someone know the name was LWD.
You think so?
Yeah.
But only maybe one person would have known.
There's a lot of buyout there. Leonard Dillon.
Leonard Winston. I think you'd have to be remember now, even though people know that, because it's so, even you couldn't even remember the name of the band you were touring with. So, you see? You see, memories fade, don't they?
Yeah,
Memories do.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry about that one. All right, so the winner is Carol in Croydon, and the number of your engine is... What's the number of your engine?
54.
That's right, engine 54, one of your great classics. I'm sure we'll be hearing that on the night.
Oh, yes.
Down at the Brixton Recreation Centre.
Yeah.
Ethiopians, Michael Prophet, Vincent Knapp,
And Little Roy.
music by the great Shaka. I mean, that's a roots show to top all
I
roots
hear a
show.
lot about Shaka.
You
The man with the one turntable.
don't let the one turntable fool you, I tell you.
Yeah.
They'll hear him when he starts playing on Friday. They will hear him in Jamaica.
That's it.
The man has power,
Okay.
right? He's coming on all cylinders. And I think maybe he'll even bring half and you'll still hear him in Jamaica. Very powerful sound system. So
Okay.
you will witness something in London that night.
All right.
So you're looking forward to it?
Oh, yes. With all my heart. Well prepared.
And please don't leave us waiting another 30 years
No.
to see you again.
And please talk to these promoters and agents.
And say, and what shall I
Yes,
say?
Patricia. She's a sponsor of
She's responsible for this show, and we have to
Yeah.
thank her, really.
Of course.
If it wasn't for Patricia,
Yeah.
maybe we wouldn't even meet.
And I really thank her also because it was something I wished for a long while. I kept touring Europe and I always just pass through London, go back to Jamaica. And ever want to really do a tour in England again. I've 31 years and, I feel like I'm in the peak of, can get to the people now, I know them.
You're at the peak. I love that. That's optimism in its highest form. And I know you're going to have a full house that night.
And I'm prepared.
And Carolyn Croydon is going to be there. And hundreds and hundreds of others.
Yeah.
And you are not going to wait 30 years before you come back.
Oh no. I want to come back earlier next year.
Next year, I think you should be here for Christmas. I'm joking. Leonard Dillon from the Ethiopians, it's been my greatest pleasure to have you here as a guest this evening. And I look forward to seeing you on Friday.
It's a pleasure to be here. But before I go, I would like to say strong and high hello to my uncle, Levi Lawrence, and also who's living in East London, and also to friends of mine in Brixton, Lydie, Nadine, Navlet, Ely Strawn and his brother. Name them. There's so much. Give thanks, and I hope to see all of those on Friday night at the Brixton Recreation.
I am a slave.
Ethiopians. That was Hard Times from the album Everything Crash Studio One Style. And Leonard Dillon from the Ethiopians was my special guest this evening. A great pleasure having him here. Such a happy man. It really was a pleasure. Don't forget Leonard Dillon alongside Little Roy, Michael Prophet, Vincent Knapp and Jashaka will be creating Roots History on Friday the 29th of September at the Brixton Recreation Centre. It's going to be the show of all shows. That's what he says. It's the Ranking Miss P with Rhythm and Blues on BBC London Live 94.9 FM. Time for Album of the Week. And tonight's Album of the Week is a real treasure. Climb the Ladder is a collector's